So it's the beginning of a new month. Uh, we know how it goes. So much happening. This is going to be an incredible month. So welcome everybody coming on. Excited to see everybody here. We've got a great call starting here. But we are going to just say where people are calling in from until we get our guest speaker tuning in. So let's hear it. Where are you calling in from?
Lake Tahoe, good morning.
Chris and Sarah, Oklahoma City.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Arvada, Colorado.
Lake Wylie, South Carolina.
Denmark.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Katy,
Minnesota.
Texas. Carla, my zeal matches your shirt.
Well, wonderful.
Ontario, Canada.
Jacksonville, Florida.
White Oak, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Jimmy?
Sunny Portugal, Carla.
Norway.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Natasha from Portugal.
Carla, you're amazing. I love you.
Hey, Andy, I hear that, boys.
Washington State.
North Bay, Ontario.
San Antonio, Texas, Jackie.
Hi.
Paulo Beach, Florida.
Hello from northern Germany.
Marietta, Oklahoma.
Worth it.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Let's keep it going. Let's hear. We've had many states on, many countries on. Let's hear where the rest of you are calling in from until our guest speaker arrives. Go ahead.
Yeah, here from Texas, the Woodlands.
Ashland, Oregon.
Tucson, Arizona.
Alberta, Canada.
United Kingdom.
San Diego.
Exotic Elko, Minnesota.
Norway.
Wonderful. Isn't it fun just to feel the excitement of the Zinzino family here? Keep her going. We've got another 2 minutes here. Or minute and a half. We got 90 seconds. Go ahead. Where are you calling in from? Oklahoma.
Albania.
Albania.
Minnesota.
A landmark decision about the definition
We'll let everybody else put your
Chicago.
mute on.
Bristol, UK.
Oregon.
Northern Canada.
Wisconsin,
Virginia.
Wisconsin.
San
Florida.
Florida. Chicago, Illinois.
Oklahoma, go Cowboys.
Oklahoma.
Houston, Texas.
I'm telling you.
Yes. Hey, Daniela.
You're not crooked.
Hi, Jazz, Bristol.
Hey, Jazz.
Hi.
Bristol.
Santa Barbara, California.
Thank you for calling Community Family Practice Duquesne Scheduling. My name is Heather. How can I help
Okay,
you
hang
today?
on. We're going to need people. Welcome, welcome. Everybody put your self on mute. It'll work out well. Wonderful. Well, we're going to get started here as soon as our speaker comes on. We know how busy they are, but we are so honored to have when our founders join us, and he'll be on any minute here.
He's here.
I'm here.
Oh, he is here. Okay, well, then I need to find out. I've been looking for your name here, and there we go. Gotcha. Perfect. Let me just make you co-host so you're able to unmute yourself. There we go. Okay, then we can get started. So I am going to mute everybody because we know there can be a lot of background noise and we don't have time for that. But hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday call. It is always exciting to be on these calls and see so many of our Zinzino family. And there's something about when we're so many people on that mission of really getting to 100 million customers because of all of the effects it's doing, the purpose it gives us, and the change we're really making in the world. And the last period of time, Zinzino has been growing like crazy, not only the acquisitions, but the organic growth. And we're upping those ranks of what number company we are in the world. We are now from Business from Home website, we are the #1 company ranked by momentum. So we're the fastest growing company around. And we are proud of that and proud of what we're doing. And the vision of our founder and him and his wife and what they really are standing for and where we're really going as a company. We are starting the second quarter of 2026. And when you hear where we're really going by the end of this year and then the upcoming years to come, it's incredible. So I'm just going to give the word to him. So please give a fantastic warm welcome and thank you for joining our fantastic founder and 7-star global president, Mr. Orjan Saele. Hey, Orjan.
Thank you, Carla. And this meeting came as a true surprise to me. I said to Hilda when I started getting text messages from you like 2 minutes ago or 2 minutes before that she books me so early that I kind of forgotten. This is like Norway, it's Easter time, and we have a very special tradition in Norway, and that is that we take off the entire week. So the kids are out of school and it's actually vacation time. And when she booked me, I didn't even know that Easter was on 1st of April. So that's how early I was booked. So I'm glad to be here. I didn't miss this meeting either. That's kind of like a miracle. That my phone was with me at the moment was just because my kids wanted me to go outside and then hunt Easter eggs. And I was on the way outside and I grabbed my phone as I was walking outside the door. And then I went down the stairs and then it was Jimmy's message. I was like, why is Jimmy messaging me now? And then I saw that Carla messaged me and that's why I'm here. So otherwise I would have been out hunting and you guys would have been on your own. But
Oh, that's always fun to hear, Orjan, because I do plan these. I plan them early. I plan, and I have had you start almost every quarter for a long time now, because we finish the quarter, we have the quarterly reports, and you always have like a goal for the next period of time. And I know you're coming here to the United States for a whirlwind tour around, and you're going to be actually hitting all of North America. You're going to hit Mexico, the US, and Canada in that period of time. You're also coming into the direct selling organizations, associations meeting here, where we have climbed up those ranks too. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about everything that Zinzino's doing right now. So even though we've got Easter break, I'm also on Easter break. I got my grandkids downstairs too. But we're here.
The Danes are the closest to the Norwegians on this, but we go up into the mountains, so we're up on ski holidays and stuff like that. But enough about that. Let's flip over to just we ended March, ECBX month, incredible month for the company. Got, of course, through the acquisition that we did in North America, we got more recognition, more ranks in North America than we have had, I think, ever in a month. I don't know. I haven't counted yet. And there are still ranks coming up. And we got Stephanie and Joel done as elite presidents. And we do have, I would give it a 95% chance that we will have one more elite president in North America by the time we stop backdating tomorrow afternoon. So I see Brad here. He is saying wow because it's in his team that is happening. So that's in Brad's team, and that's Andy that is really working towards making Andy Dooley that is working towards making that happen. And they have still a lot of volume that needs to land, but I got a text message from one of his brand new leaders, which just said 37 to go. And I was this morning, and that's Ultimate Kits by Thursday. That's our backdating deadline this week because it's a short month because of Easter. So we want to like have a hard break there. Ultimate Kits to make it happen for the rank that she and her team is chasing for. So that's very exciting. And then with that going on, and with a lot of teams, like I just had the PI in Germany. She joined in less than a year ago, I think it was. Maybe it's just over a year ago, something like that. She hit Royal Ambassador completely from scratch, was not attached to any of the acquisitions or anything like that. And one of her teammates hit Black Crown in even less time than that. And I could go through stories like that from all over the world where people are building super fast. And at the same time, we've got teams that are moving slower, and sometimes it's more normal, it feels like, to move slower than to move fast. And that is true. But I've been thinking about what are the things that the fast teams are very, very good at, and that the slower teams, you might be good at them as well, or maybe you've never tried to be good at them. But what are the things that they're very good at, and how could we duplicate that into your team? Because if you pick up what the fast teams are good at, then your team will have the same foundational premise that we could say could make your team successful very quickly as well. And let me just touch on that for 1 second, because the product is the same. Agree? Everyone, product is the same. The compensation plan is the same. Agree, everyone? Compensation plan is the same. The CEO is the same CEO. It's Dag, no different CEO. And then some people argue this, but I would argue that the uplines are the same. Hilda and me, we're uplines to everyone. So upline is more or less the same. Some have, but even inside in teams with the same uplines, I see different results. So it's mostly same in that area. And we could go through, the website is the same. The presentation material is more or less the same. So we could say that the track that you're driving on, or actually let's put it different. Let's say the car that you're driving with on the track is identical for everyone. But the track, you could call that, is the part that is a little bit different, because the track is this is a blank sheet of paper, but the list is your list. And the people that is on the list of the people in your team is their list. So there is small differences on those kind of things, but if we broaden it out, that's also the same. Because in reality, most of the people that we work with is not the people that we knew when we joined. And when you build a large team, as soon as you go beyond like an executive level, most of the people you work with is not the people that were on your list. There might be some people from your list, and that's a good thing. I mean, I was yesterday with had a bonfire, and we were grilling lamb, and we had a good time. We celebrated a friend. He turned 50 on Saturday, and then I was there with Jens, which was one of the candidates on my list from when I was 17 years old and joined the business. And he is still there in the business today. All of these years later, I've turned 50, so that's 33 years, and he's still here. So that's a good thing. So it's not a negative that it is, but in his team, most of the people, yes, there is a couple that was on his original list as well that is still in the team, but 99% of, or actually in his case, more than 99%, probably 99.5% is people from all across Europe and all across the world that we did not know when we were 17. So more or less, the track is the same, navigation is the same, but it's how we do it in this setting that makes the difference. That's it's how we interact with a list. It's how we interact with our leaders. It's how we interact in everything that makes the big difference. And that's what I'm planning to spend the next few moments on, Carla. Is that a good subject for today, or did you have something else in your mind?
No, I love it. I love it because I think absolutely everybody on here wants to get to their next levels, whether they are coming from other companies and just coming in now. They're going to want to grow because we're going global, we're going viral. And, or if it's somebody like me who's been around for 16 years, I want to grow too. I want to learn from what everybody else is doing. I think when we realize how much we're all one team, and we all can grow. We have all the same background. We just have to get better at learning the skills that we need to do. And I'm always going to be a learner, Orjan. You know, I've had a goal of being one of your top 10 on there, and it's getting a little harder with all your acquisitions now, Orjan.
Well, when you get into the top 10, it's going to be really, really cool, though. I mean, with what's happening in the top 10 right now, when you hit it, it's like then you are a person that is legendary in our profession. Hitting that top 10 today is something different than when we talked about that 10 or 15
years ago. Yeah.
Ago. So
it's still one of my goals. It's still things that I want to do. And I just know that I'm going to need to learn. I mean, some of these people that are coming in and hitting these top titles, I know Sven told me the same thing when he came in and hit some top titles. He's like, Carla, I've had this experience, this background. So I just need to learn, Orjan. So go ahead.
Correct.
Let's learn it.
So the first step, let's start with the very basic. The first step is, are you working with your list? So that's the question. So are you adding people to your list? Are you working with your list? Are you booking from your list? Are you marketing to your list? Are you building a relationship of reciprocity with the people in your list so they owe you favors when you eventually contact the people on your list? So that's and there is a huge difference in this, because I had she joined the business like today or yesterday. I had a meeting with her, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I don't want to say any names because she is somewhat of known in our profession, and she doesn't want anybody to know yet. Okay, so we respect that. But the way she said, "Oh, my list is so big. No, I got to get the structure. I got to know how many legs. I got to know how many I put in each leg, and then I'm going to go and sponsor 100 people." And she said that with confidence in a way where she made me think what I'm doing, because I never had that confidence that she spoke with. And she was talking about doing that in probably as short as 6 months, might even be shorter. I didn't ask, it wasn't necessary. I knew that if I said, "Do you mean the first 2 years?" she would laugh out loud of me commenting, saying something like that. Now, I'm not saying that everyone can do that, because not everyone has laid the foundation to do that. But every one of us could work on laying the foundation so that we do this over time. So that's the first thing which I see with every team that is moving strongly, the leader of the team. Okay, listen to that. The leader of the team has an attitude about, I love working on my list. I love adding to my list. I love marketing to my list. And I love sponsoring from my list. And that is something that everyone that is here, 302 of us, if you're not there, you can correct that at this moment. Some of you would have to work on it for a few days to keep it corrected, but that's a decision of how you look at your list, your business, and how you want to proceed. Then I said this to the director call on Monday, that if we don't have a goal of hitting the bonuses in what we call the enrollment program, and we have the lifetime enrollment programs. We have the enrollment, we get the bonus of 50 pay points, 50 pay points, 100, 100 as people enroll and they get their 1, 4, 10, and 25 customers. We know that. And then we have, of course, the fast starts. We have the binary commission, team commission, cap bonus that is connected to this. But then we have the lifetime enrollment program, which is when you hit 5 qualified enrollees, you get a free event ticket to go to Oslo this fall. So you'd be in Oslo, free event ticket, you don't have to pay for it, and you can be with us and celebrate with 6,000, 7,000 other people in Oslo. Don't have to pay the 340 euros, which I think today went up to 395 euros, if I'm not wrong, or 375 euros went up price today. So you can do that. You can have that as a goal, and then when you get 10, you get 1,000 pay points. So that's $1,150 worth of free products from the company that you can use in your marketing. So that's by enrolling 10. Yes, you could make 10 times $345 in the enrollment bonus program as well, as each one of those going collect the 25 customers each. But that's just on top of it, just in lifetime enrollment. Then when you get 15, when you come to Oslo in October, which I hope you do, since you're going to sponsor 15, and then you get a Mont-Blanc pen with your name engraved on it, a $500 pen, as a gift, a token showing that you are now becoming a professional recruiter, and we hand that out and it's engraved with your name, and that's a big honor to receive that pen. And you can take that pen now, and before we physically sign things, we don't do that anymore, but you can have it on your desk and you can look at it each time you push enter and you put people into the system. Then when you go and get 30, you are going to get the VIP treatment to the Oslo event, which means that we cover the hotel for you, we cover the event ticket, and you're treated like you're a diamond and above for all the trainings, and you're treated to all the top level dining that is all around the event area and so on. So that's a really neat thing. And that happens at 30, and then at 50, and we're having that, I think it's the 2nd of June. If the date is incorrect, then I'm sorry. We have the founders and, or actually the corporate and the founders trip, where you get some airline money, and we cover the hotel, we cover all the food, and you go and visit our headquarters in Gothenburg. You come to Faun Pharma, you go to Vitas, and then we're hosting a dinner at our home, me and Hilda, for everyone that is coming on that trip. And we have a day of education, and we have great conversations, okay? So that's happening at 50, and at 100, you get a 10,000 pay point bonus, so that's $11,500. That's kind of like the top level. We have 500, which just says Hall of Fame. No one have hit it yet, so we're waiting for the first people to hit that. We don't know what we're going to do for them yet, but that's just like way out there, the superstars. But what I said to the directors is that it's kind of crazy if you want to make a career, if you don't have each one of these on your targeted goal list. I'm going to hit my 5 within this day. I'm going to hit my 10 within this day. I'm going to hit my 15 within this day. I'm going to hit my 30 within this year or next year. I'm going to hit my 50 within maybe 2-3 years from now. If you're brand new, maybe faster. If you have serious ambitions, you'll do it faster. And then I'm going to hit my 100, because in Zinzino, the average of those that hit president have sponsored just around 100 people. So that's an incredible just matchup with setting some goals with your career. So that's on the recruiting side, and you becoming a fan of loving this. So that's step number one, okay? So that was a long. If I spend as much time on each step, Carla, we'll be done by midnight my time. So that'll be 5 o'clock your time. So I'm trying to shorten it from here, okay, a little bit. But then the next step is when somebody comes into your team, what do you do about their list building? And how do we work with them on getting a positive attitude towards working their list? And this has been one of my strengths. I cannot say that sponsoring has been my strongest strength in direct selling through my 33-year career. I'm not the best in that area. I never was. I could become, but I haven't been. So that's not been my strongest side. But on building the list and having other people that I sponsor a significant amount of people and turning them positive towards that process and creating that duplication in the team, I could say that if not a master of it, very close to it. I've spent so many hours with so many of my personals and their leaders on making them feel a positive feeling towards getting people into the business. Now, that's number 2. And then we have 1B and 2B, which is the same for customers. So do you love getting customers enough to where you want to have 25 customers as quickly as possible and you want to help your best friends? And that's 25 products on subscriptions. So it's not even 25 people. But do you love that process? Do you embrace that? I meet so many people that come and they say, well, that's... I shouldn't even quote them. I don't want to have the mime out there. But they kind of express to me that it's like below their dignity. And then I'm like, no, this is the business. Like the balanced soil, the balanced test, and all of our other products, that we love the product, that we fall in love with the product so much that we want our friends and family and the people we really care about and people that we couldn't get into the business to become customers. That's a really important thing. This is more of a man problem than a woman problem. I know that. So sorry for mentioning it to half of you. And the other half of you, the one that have my gender, hey, it's time. It's time to do that because you got to be in love with the business. And the business is to get customers. That's what we do. And this makes Zinzino unique as well because it's not, well, there is no purpose in recruiting unless you get 25 customers. Meaning that, yes, we sometimes recruit someone and they don't get there, but the purpose was that they would all get there. And then we work with 2B, which is everyone that we enroll, that they love that process as well. Working them up to setting a date for when do I have my 4, that's the Q team. When do I have my 10, that's the X team at the end of the 120 days. Pick the 2 fast start bonuses. And then the 25 as quickly as possible, because now you're making more than you're spending and you have lots of free products every month. And it should happen well beyond the 12 months, which is when you get a refund if you joined with an ultimate kit. So these are the 2 basic premises. And then we go into, and I'm going to shorten it down a little bit because we don't have the full time to do everything. But from there on, this business is built on a series of meetings. And if you're working part-time, you fit in, and part-time I define as putting in 10 to 15 hours a week, or as many as you can. But if you want to make significant progress part-time, 10 to 15 hours should be enough. And then if you're working full-time, of course, then it's different. But as a part-timer, you do at least 3 activities every week where you're meeting people that are going to be recruited into the business, either for your personal or with your team. And then you meet at least 2 people that are going to become customers, and that's mostly for yourself. And then it's of course, also for the ones that you're the sponsor of, but you're not going as far deep in the team necessarily on that as we do with the recruiting part of it. That's 5 meetings a week. That takes you 4 to 5 hours, depending on how efficient you are. Some do short meetings, some do longer meetings. I found that it doesn't really matter the length of the meeting. It matters more that you do it and that you find a certain quality where you can have a certain conversion. And that's what I'm going to talk about for the rest of the Zoom. And then you have, if you work 10 hours, you've got 5 more hours to do everything else needed. If you work 15 hours a week, you've got 10 more hours to do everything else needed, which is setting up the meeting, getting people started, getting people trained, teaching them about the products, teaching about the comp plan and so on, and all of these different things. So you've got plenty of time for that. Just on a full-timers, it's 3 meetings a day, 5 to 6 days a week for recruiting, 2 for the customers, and then you've got the rest of the time for everything else needed. So that's the structure. Now, when we come to the meeting, and this is where I see the winning teams are usually better than the teams that are going on a more normal pace. So, and let me just, before I say that, say, of course, the winning team has a much higher quantity. So that's why I talked about the foundation here. In the winning teams, there is a lot more meetings getting done. So nothing can really beat the quantity. But in the winning team, we also have a higher quality on a few things. One, they're pretty good at making an introduction that makes the person that is looking at it as a customer opportunity or as a partner opportunity feel good about themselves. Okay, so the goal with the introduction, I see Daniela here. Hi, Daniela, good to see you. You don't need to unmute, but if I was meeting her for the first time in a presentation, or if I was meeting Arlo, hi Arlo, long time since we chatted. Arlo is from Minnesota, great guy. We've been driving around in Minnesota. I miss those days. We got to get back to those. But any one of them, doesn't matter who it is, my goal is to have them feel good about themselves. Because as soon as they feel good about themselves, they open themselves up to be listening. So it's not so much, sometimes I come to meetings and people spend a lot of time on having me feel good about me, edifying me as an upline. And that's okay. That's great if we can do that with 1 sentence or 2 sentences, or the people that present are like edifying each others. It's not so much about that, even though that's like a standard Dale Carnegie, we got to do that stuff. And if you've been through any of the other training systems out there, everyone talks about that. But the teams that are winning make the prospect feel very good about themselves. When we feel good about ourselves, people listen. And now they listen leaning forward, and they listen wanting to know what you have to say. That makes a difference in the presentation. My experience is that what we say in the presentation matters less. Sorry about that. I've seen teams with long presentations, short presentations, well-formulated presentations, very medical presentations. Shouldn't do that just for compliance reasons. That's stressful for me. But all kinds of presentations lead to fast growth. So it's not so much about what's in the presentation, even though I would say cover the opportunity, cover the product really well, so people want to take a test and they want to try out the product as a very minimum on covering the product, cover the comp plan, cover the opportunity side of it well, cover the system, and cover that you will work together and they become a part of a team, and that there is personal development or professional development, depending on how you verbalize that. So that's the 5 things we cover in the presentation. And all of that is covered in the standard business presentation, and you can do that in 20 minutes, or you can spend 2.5 hours on it. It depends on how much you say to each slide. I've done it in 20 minutes, and I've probably done it in over an hour. I've never been at 2.5, but probably an hour and a half on my worst talkative days, where I forget that it's about the prospect and I want to show how good I am. So when it's about the prospect, it usually ends up being shorter, the presentation. Now, during this, and this is what the teams that are delivering great results are very good at. During the presentation, you're asking people direct questions in a friendly way that often leads to them confirming that they would like to do a few different things. So one of them is, would you like to find your most important number? Would you like to find your omega-3s and your omega-6 and see how your diet is doing, or see how your supplements are doing, depending on who it is? And they're pretty good at asking that question. And then number two, if you fail that test, and this is the shortening version of it, would you like to correct it and try out our health program to see how you would feel when you live a life in balance? And that would take us at least 6 months. So we're pretty good at getting those two clarified during the meeting. They're also good at other things, and that's making a friend. So that's people continuing to feel good at themselves, finding their needs, so knowing what they really want out of it, and then finding their pain and needs kind of go hand in hand. And the super good people are good at pushing their pain as well. But those things, yes, those are important. We'll learn them over time. But there is a bunch of people that knows how to do that, that still doesn't have that great momentous growth in their team. And that's why I'm pointing to these closing questions. So, would you like to take a test? Would you like to correct your balance? Or if you have another lead product, would you like to do this and this? So you can work with other lead products as well. Works totally fine as well. I was just yeah, but balance oil kind of is in everything. But if you lead with a secondary as synbiotic and extend, or if it's something else, that doesn't really matter that much, because we close it in mostly on the test and the balance oil. Then we come to the compensation part of it. And if you love the recruiting process, you are here willing to give some promises. And those promises are pretty important. And that is that when you've talked about getting in with the Ultimate Kit, getting 25 customers, then you get the refund, you make them a promise. As long as you set up the meetings, I'm going to go and do the meetings, and I'm going to help you get to A-Team, and I'm going to help you reclaim that Ultimate Kit that you're investing in. So you see, that's not a close, but it's a close leading up to a close, where they hear from your commitment. And then as I run to the Fast Start program, I'm saying, if you're willing to spend the time, I'm going to make all my time available so that you can hit all of these Fast Start bonuses. So I give them a second promise. So that's $2,500 to $3,000 plus the refund. Now I'm creating a value proposition that looks pretty good. And then the last part is that we go through in Europe some additional slides. You have some different slides in the US because of just the legality of how we present the business. But when you talk about the career after that, I usually say, so if you're committed to go through the Fast Start, get your 25 customers, I'm committed to working with everyone in your team for the next 5 years. My goal will be to help you go Crown, and I'll give everything that I can to help you do that. Would you like that? I know that's, again, a promise. So you can't make that promise unless you and the people in your team are really excited about the recruiting process and list, okay? Because otherwise those promises doesn't mean anything. But if you're really excited about that, that is something that is going to glitter in your eyes. and I've got bad lighting here because, as you know, I wasn't coming into, I came prepared into the meeting. I knew what I would want to talk about, but I wasn't really there to set up my computer properly. But that gives you that sparkle where people feel that you really are onto something. That makes them excited. And then comes the magic. Before you leave the meeting, you always have to ask them the final question. Brad or Carla or Ricardo or Arnie or whoever it is, or Leanne, is there anything else that stops you today, or anything else that you need to know that would stop you from joining me with an ultimate kit today? And that's where it comes up what we could call, in the nicest possible way, questions. I usually call it objections, but then many people get mad at me. Don't call it objections, then people get afraid. Well, I'm not really afraid of questions or objections, because the teams that are growing super fast, they always ask a closing question, and they train them super fast on being good at answering the questions. So if people say, I don't have the money, they have the answer to that. If I don't have the time, they have the answer to that. I don't understand the product, they've got the answer to that. I don't understand the model of network marketing, they've got the answer to that. It could be multiple other things that they go into, but people have the answers because they always ask the question. So every meeting leads to either a yes or a conversations about the things that are the issues, and very fast. I can say it goes so fast. After 5-10 meetings together with somebody where they see me answering, they know how to answer and they can duplicate this on their own. And no, we're not afraid of asking the question of joining today, because we already know how we're going to handle the time objection. It just means that they don't believe it's going to be worth their time. Either there is not enough value in the product, or there is not enough value in the product, the business, or there is not enough money received back. So then we got to solidify that. If they say the money, it just means that they didn't believe in your promise. I mean, it wasn't really, well, it could be sometimes that they join on a smaller kit, which is totally fine. Then upgrade within 6 months to claim your refund. I have no problems with that. But if they don't want to join with a smaller kit, it's very seldom that they physically don't have the money. I call it the iPhone test. That's the most popular phone in Norway. So if I look, well, on Zoom meetings, I don't always get to see their iPhone, but if they got an iPhone, which a lot of people do, they usually could get it. It's just a matter of when can they get it. Sometimes they have to borrow money. When I joined first time, I was 17 years old, just turning 18, and I had to come up with $200. I didn't afford a big package. I joined on a small package. Hilda joined on a big package. She was 20 years old, but she had to borrow the money. She didn't have the money, so her upline was trained in how they find people and they borrow money to get started. And when they borrow money to get started, well, they're going to be more eager to make that money back than anybody else, because they really need to have the money back. So there's nothing wrong in borrowing money to start a business. I don't advise people to borrow money to buy their iPhone, but to start your business, I have no problems with that. That's totally fine. Now, your iPhone, you can save, but I mean, some people do borrow money for those things as well. Actually, lots of people do that. So I'm not going to be judgmental on that either. But they ask the question, and then people get good at answering the questions that is around that. And then now, if you don't get a yes in that meeting, either it's a customer or it's a partner, depending on which kind of meeting it is, I do spend 5 minutes afterwards, before I exit the meeting, on making them feel really good about themselves again, because that leads to the follow-up. So that always leads to a follow-up, because even if you said no, even if you said I'm not sure, even if you said not for now, even if you said I got to think about it, if you feel really good about yourself and you leave the meeting, when you get a text or you get a message again or you get a phone call again, people are going to want to have another follow-up meeting with you, either very quickly or in the next few weeks or next few months, depending on how sharp the no was in the meeting. Now, if people say yes, I also spend time after their yes on making them feel really good about themselves, because they might be coming home to someone, or they might be at home and they're going to go into the next room and meet somebody, and they might have to defend their yes. So then get them enrolled, and then spend some time on that. And then as we go further down this road, of course, when they get their package, celebrate that. When they build their list, celebrate that. But I think we're at 45 minutes already, Carla. So that's saved for another session to go into those kind of topics. But fast-growing teams, they like their job, meaning recruiting and getting customers, and they duplicate what they like. And when they do the meetings, they're not afraid of committing people early on. They're very good at making people feel good about themselves. Yes, they make them into friends. They find their needs. They push the pain. They say, are you going to change that? Or are you going to continue to live like that for the rest of your life? Zinzino is a way where you could get out of that situation. So they're not afraid to connecting it. They're not afraid to make promises on what they will do for people. And they follow through on the promises. They follow up. And when then people sign up, they get them started rapidly. And that's what makes the difference on the teams that grow faster than the teams that doesn't grow so fast. And the fun part about that is that no, everyone could take everything that you already know. You could keep your same method of operation, just implement what I talked about, and you're moving faster with the presentation that you have, with the name list that you have. You don't need to significantly change anything. You just need to do these things with the system that you have, and you're going to get incredible results.
I love this, Orjan. You know, what I think is so great about this is you would probably have this training for people that are brand new. And this is what they need to do. But if I'm, as I am ambassador and I want to go president, it's actually the same training. So this basics is really on what people want to do to get to the next level from wherever you are, whether you want to get up to diamond or crown or ambassador or president, or to get to 7-star global president. It's actually these same steps, right?
100%. And then since we are here, we've got 2 campaigns out today, if you didn't read them already. One is the customer campaign running for 15 days, I believe it is. Any product below $40 US, the customer will get additional 10 Zinzino cash when they order it as a Premier kit. Any product above 40, they get 20. Any product above 80, so if you buy a Premier kit that is above 80, they get 40 Zinzino cash. And then if they're above 120, they get 60 Zinzino cash with that Premier kit. If now you get on the Zinzino Shine, you get 10 for that as a Premier subscription. You got the Balance Soil, that's 47. You get 20 for that. And then you get, let's say, a balance kit with test in addition to that, which is 127. That would give me 60. So on that total purchase, I would get 90 back. So the same customer can get multiple reward checks back on their different Premier kits, which is perfect, because that means that the next 15 days, it's going to be a lot easier to get customers, than in the normal 15 days. And in the same period of time, if you want to rank up this month, well, then you got to get a lot of volume this month. But next month in May, we have the ECBX again. And if you collect 8 points, so that's 8 action points during the month of April, and you get 1 for every Premier subscription, you're going to get the ECBX for May. If you recruit 1 Ultimate Kit, that also gives you the ECBX for May, or any other combination of the points together, as you can see in the promotion. And then, of course, in May, we will have the ECBX campaign and maybe something more. So it's time to take action, get all of our friends, family over Easter here, and whatever other occasion you have, get them on a product and enroll them in the business, depending on how they see themselves and how you see them.
Wonderful. And just for clarification, do check the exact numbers in your email, because I know to get those extra 20, 40, or 60 Zeno cash, it is 40, 80, and 120 euros. And in dollars, it's 46.92 or 138 exactly.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's just a little bit different.
Sorry, I've only seen the European ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All good. But okay, Orjan, last question, because I know we're all going back to kids and grandkids and Easter time here. Orjan, so we've just got started here. And I know from last year, we went from company number 44. This year, we are hitting into number 11. We're the fastest growing, if you look at the momentum ranks here on Business for Home, of all the companies here. And I think there's 720 on that site. But what do you see? I mean, you've been acquiring all these companies. We're going to grow. We're going to follow exactly what you said, build these basics. But where do you see Zinzino by the end of this year? We know we're going to the 100 million customers, but where do you see us going in the next near future here?
So we have a big, huge goal for this year, and that is to pass 500 million in sales. So that's going to happen. We believe a lot in that. I don't think that because we're number 1 on a momentum list and we've moved up some ranks. I mean, great. But the way I see that, and now it's a big thing in Zinzino, when you hit executive or you hit platinum and you hit diamond, and we celebrate that, of course. But for most of the people that hit executive, platinum, and diamond this month, that was not your end destination. I see Amanda here. I think she went director. Is that correct, Amanda? Yeah, she went director, but that's not her end destination. That wasn't like, that's my dream, I'll stop at director for the rest of my life. That's not what she's aiming for. So when you talk about those things, I say, okay, but my goal is like 50 or 60 star global president. So let's make sure that everyone knows the basics so that we can start moving a lot quicker. And if we're number 1 of the ranking or not, doesn't really matter. What matters to me is that everyone you involve get their 4, 10, and 25 customers. What matters to me is that the people that get involved are fast launching through their Fast Start program. What matters to me is that everyone that sets a goal of becoming a diamond gets the help and support to become a diamond. And what matters to me is that everyone that becomes a diamond is getting the help that they need to go to Crown, Royal Crown, Black Crown, ambassador levels, maybe president levels, depending on their ambition. That matters a lot to me, and that's the excitement. So this year, 30, 40, 50% growth, hitting above 500 million. That's amazing. And then we keep on doing that. And if we keep on doing that every year until 2050, we won't reach 100 million customers. We'll go far beyond 100 million customers. So yes, that's why I'm more intrigued today to teach the very things that work for everyone, to make sure that the most number of people can have the best path to becoming successful, of course, on their terms. Because some are part-time and only want to be part-time. Some are full-time, and we're going to have different goals. but we all want to be on the best path towards reaching our goals. And Carla, you're doing such an amazing job. We appreciate you so much. And I know that one day, you keep on to it, you're going to be on that top 10 list. And that means a lot when you hit that top 10 list. It's going to be like absolutely amazing the day you hit that top 10 list.
Well, let's all go out there, follow these basics from Orjan, and all hit all these top levels. Let's go to that whole nother level already, finishing this month and especially next month with the 200% ECB. Orjan, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be here. I'm going to let everybody unmute. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you in
Happy
Toronto.
gracias, Orjan.
Muchas
gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carla, too. Thank you, Orjan.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Carla.
See you all soon. Bye, everybody.